Hi everybody, I'm Bill Cullerton. I'm the president of Bagley Lures and very pleased to be talking to you from the Icast show. We're out in Las Vegas right now and introducing our new product line to all sorts of customers, literally from all over the world. So we have bass anglers from Japan to Kansas. So we're really having a good time out here, and I'd just like to talk to you a little bit about what we've done with Bagley. I got involved with Bagley with a good friend of mine, Jarmo Rapala, who used to be the CEO of the Rapala Lure Company, no longer involved there. So he left there, and since we had a good relationship and a good friendship, Jarmo and I got together and bought Bagley. Bagley's a line that was manufactured and started by Jim Bagley, a famous, really gregarious angler and great lure designer. And Jim started his company in 1954. Got out of it in the late 70s and went through a succession of ownership. And finally, a couple of years ago, Jarmo and I picked up the line. And with Jarmo's background in balsa wood, we decided that everything in the Bagley line is going to remain authentic and be made out of nothing but 100% natural balsa wood, no plastic at all in this line anymore. And again, with Jarmo's great background with balsa and understanding how to make lures, we were able to go back and capture what Jim's authentic and original designs were. By doing that, gosh, we went back, we were finding lures that were 30 years old, literally going into old tackle boxes. We brought in some of the old Bagley original designers. A guy like Lee Sisson came aboard for a little bit to help us to make sure we were making these lures right to the specs that Jim Bagley had originally made them. And we're doing that today. So every lure that we manufacture, we actually tank test every individual bait before it goes in the box. I'll show you a couple lures. Here's the original Bagley bait made out of balsa, and that's a Bangalore. The Bangalore comes in a couple of different varieties. It's the regular Bangalore without a spin tail, and then we do it with a spin tail too. So this has a lip that takes it down, and a spin tail, when you work it on the surface like a jerk bait, it spins and fusses up the surface and creates a big surface action for big bass on the top. So we do it with a spinner and without a spinner. This was the original Bagley lure, and that's the Bangalore. Other baits that we have are some real famous crankbaits. Probably the most famous at all is the original balsa bee, and that has the square bill or the square lip right there. So as you notice, the square bill combined with the wide shoulders of this balsa wood lure, you can actually fish this bait in heavy, heavy timber. So the idea is to cast it out, get her down, let her run right into the timber, and it'll hit a log just like my hand right here. And if you let up on the line, the lure actually floats really right off it, and it works just like that. So the lure is designed, the balsa bee is designed to fish in heavy, heavy timber where the big bass live. Another cool design, and this was an authentic design by Jim Bagley, was the diving bee. It's a big-bodied, as you can see, balsa lure with a large lip, and what makes this very unique is I'm going to flip this over and show you, we put a lead ballast in here, and Jim did that originally because it gives you a better angle of descent. This lure won't get you any deeper than another lure of similar design, but it'll get you deeper quicker, meaning when you start retrieving it, that angle goes down, and the angle of descent is more acute than any other lure. So if you're fishing a deep shoreline or a deep bank and you want to get down in a hurry, that's the lure that's going to get you down because it tips down, then it dives very deep. And that's the diving bee. Another famous lure in the line, and gosh, Bagley lures have accounted for 4 Bassmaster Classic wins already, so it's one of the top brands in bass fishing world for sure. But another one, a fan favorite so to speak, is the Killer Bee. That's the authentic original Killer Bee, and you can see that has a square bill too, a little narrower than the balsa bee, but it's which offers a little different, little faster action. The balsa bee has a wider action. This will have a little tighter action. Sometimes fish have a preference for different actions, as we all know, and that's the Killer Bee, original square bill Killer Bee. Outside of that, we're enjoying very much being in the lure business. We originally wanted to bring back the best sellers, the ones that anglers were so familiar with from back in the old days, and we're really gratified that even though this lure company started in 1954, it's very relevant to today's anglers. We get emails. My gosh, we're getting 22,000 emails a month from consumers, from people who fish, and they're from all age brackets. They're from kids that are 13 years old to grandparents that are in their 80s, and they all talk about Bagley and what lures were happy, made them happy, and helped them catch a lot of fish. And as we go forward, we'll be looking for bringing new and original designs. But right now, we're trying to get it back to the authentic lures that Jim Bagley designed starting back in 1954. And folks, we really appreciate the time with you today. Hope you learned a little bit about Bagley, and we'd love to hear more about you. You can contact us on our website at bagleybait.com. We'd love to hear from anglers and good fishermen everywhere. So thanks a lot for your attention.